I've gotta say, the last week, I don't say this lightly, was the most stressful, anxiety-inducing, heart-palpitating clusterfuck of a week of my entire life.
Shit exploding.
Shit.
Shit exploding, brain rotting, hair clumping and falling outing, skin melting, eyeball popping, tongue exploding.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's what happens to tongues. Week of my fucking life. Here we are on the tail end of what I can only describe as one of the fucking week that will go down in history.
It was the longest year of my life last week. It felt like there was a spell put over the world and time was going by so slowly because there was so much happening.
And you know what?
What?
There was a long full moon. It was like the same period of time.
Yeah.
It's like the moon looks like it was fuller for longer. It's supposed to represent like stagnancy and whatever else.
Felt like it.
In the universe. Because Mrs. TikTok ban was all encompassing. And now as we are on the tail end of the inauguration as well, there's so much going on in the world that we are about to fucking dig into. So take a seat.
Take a seat, grab a knife, grab a fork.
No,
if you
the
choose.
knife's fine enough. You're not going to need anything other than a knife. Don't use it on yourself.
And let's dig into what went down last week.
God.
Because we went through trauma together as a society. Yeah, the U.S. went through trauma. The whole world was fine. The world was fine. They were laughing at us. They were like, what the fuck is happening over there in that janky ass country we live in? And we were like,
we made the active choice to live here. We said, yeah, let's move here.
yeah, it's pretty good
What a good
normally.
idea.
No, it's not.
It's really not.
I don't know. Should we do a timeline? Should we start from the beginning?
Yeah.
Which was last Monday. Crazy how that feels like a
What
year
happened
ago.
last Monday?
It was the beginning of the week of clusterfuck. We woke up because we knew the TikTok ban was happening.
When was the Supreme Court?
That was Wednesday.
No, when was the Supreme Court hearing? Like, when did they have their hearing?
Oh, their hearing? Last week, the week before.
Oh, right, okay.
But Monday we were waking up and we were like, okay, the TikTok ban is happening. We were like, we know what day is going to happen. It's going to happen on Sunday, the 19th. But we know the Supreme Court's going to issue a decision. Maybe, who knows, on Wednesday.
Well, because they said they were going to finally release like a statement of like their opinions for the week.
Yeah.
On the Wednesday came and went, and guess what we got?
Nothing.
From those little fucks. And yet we were riddled. Because if you don't know already, like TikTok is our like primary source of income. We like do brand partnerships on like multiple social platforms, but TikTok is like the most lucrative.
It's the girl.
Like, spent 5 years building a community on this platform, and so to see it ripped away,
Potentially.
to see it this past week, be like just toyed in front of us like a piece of meat, like bait.
Yeah.
You want this thing,
It's
but
like,
you're not gonna get it.
Ooh, your income might be stripped away from you. Your business might be just like poof. Who knows? Because some old fucks wanna rule in some way.
It's not just us. Like, it's not just us and like the like content creators of the platform and the world who are gonna see such a hit. It's crazy to me to think that how many? There's 170 million American users on TikTok, which make up, you think that's like half of the population, but it's not, because like most of the population, there's kids and there's elderly people who don't use the social platform.
Yeah.
There's people in prison who, some of those use the platform. I've seen Prison Talk. And there are the rest, the 175 million, which actually make up the majority of people who can use the platform, that use the fucking platform, and 7 million small businesses that are going to be directly affected by this TikTok ban.
7 million small businesses that make their income
and
on
then
TikTok.
The Supreme Court was just like, no, I don't care about anyone. I don't care about the actually, I don't care about the economy, and don't care about how this is going to impact literally everyone's lives.
Well, in the timeline, on Wednesday, I was up at 7 a.m. watching the live stream of the SCOTUS ruling. You know what SCOTUS stands for?
Yes, the Supreme Court.
Yeah. I didn't know if you knew. And then POTUS is president. And
I
then,
know.
Okay.
I have Instagram, unfortunately.
And then PLOTUS is, no.
Who's Plotus?
There's a different one.
Who's the Plotus?
There's a different one. I don't know.
Barry the Platypus? Who the fuck is Plotus?
So on the timeline, I was waiting for the Supreme Court ruling on Wednesday. Didn't happen. I was anxious. that day. No, I was still hopeful, I think, that day. I think I was like, okay, they're waiting until another, they're drawing this out. They're making this the most horrible season finale of the US ever by drawing it out to the end. So I was hopeful still on Wednesday. I'm going in my emotions. This is an emotional timeline. Thursday, I was anxiety ridden. Was I anxious on Thursday?
I don't know.
I think Thursday was the anxious day where I was like, oh, we are moving
Wednesday and
towards.
Thursday, I was like, I'm gonna cry.
Yeah, we were moving towards the ban and we were like, no one's doing anything. Hello, government. You want to do something? And this is the time where people like the congressmen and women who like actually voted for the ban were like, oh, wait, maybe I don't want the ban. Maybe because all of the youth in the entire country are against me right now, like Cory Booker and like all these people. They're like, ooh, maybe let's think about this again. Okay, don't vote for it in the first place.
I know, it's crazy.
Piece of shit.
It's crazy work.
Piece of shit. I'm sorry. And then Friday came around and we got the ruling.
Oh my God.
And it was 9-0. And I was like, okay, that's fine.
And what was the ruling? A unanimous fuck you in the face,
9-0.
you fucking little pieces of shit. That's what they said to us. And I was like, huh, okay. Turns out it didn't fucking matter because all of a sudden on Saturday morning, or maybe it was this Friday, the TikTok CEO was like, we're going to be working with Chomp to figure out how we can all move forward together.
He's like, he actually said that we are fortunate for President Trump during that TikTok that he put out.
Yeah, I know.
He was like, we are fortunate that we have a president-elect. Wasn't a president at the time.
Bootlicking little bitch. Although,
They're
you
all
know what?
bootlicking.
I get it. You know what? I get it. You know what? You're trying to save this thing. Who am I to say how you shouldn't do it? This literally seems like the only way for it to have been saved. And then Saturday evening comes around. We like expect it to go dark by like midnight that night, midnight EST. And then there was like word on the street that it was going to go dark by 8:30 PT.
It was a random email from TikTok Shop to like agencies that it was like, oh my God, at 8:30 EST, 5:30 PST, it's going to go dark. And we were like, oh, that's in 3 hours. I thought we had until midnight. But no one actually said midnight or 8:30 or like 9 p.m.
It's like, no, it's like a historical world event. And everyone's like, where were you when the second tower was hit?
Yeah.
Like, I was at my friend's 40th birthday dinner and I went on the app and then it said, TikTok is banned in the United States. But we're working with President Chomp.
But we're fortunate that President Chomp has our backs.
Oh my God.
Save us, President Chomp.
And then I was like, do you know what? It's happened, and now
it was freaky. It was freaky. I was a mess.
No, I ran to our other friend, and I like ran to the other table. I was like, "Look, what the fuck just happened?" And then there was like a whole like murmur in the room about it all, and I was what? I have a few glasses of wine down. Let me just continue drinking and just forget that this happened, and then tomorrow I can wake up and I don't know, doom scroll Instagram Reels.
We tried that night to scroll on both Reels and YouTube Shorts.
YouTube Shorts is a fucked up place. And I've said this, and I've said this, and I've said this, and I will continue to say this. What the fuck is YouTube Shorts? What the fuck are you doing on this app? This app is one of the most demented, not the app itself, the short section.
The shorts feed.
The most what the fuck?
No, it's like weird. It feels like what Reels is supposed to be, because Reels is bad. Reels is bad. But it's not as bad. YouTube Shorts feels like you open TikTok for the first time and then you get like the fresh feed.
And you can tell because of the fucking comments that you get on Instagram
disgusting.
Reels and YouTube Shorts
Disgusting.
Versus TikTok, because TikTok's algorithm, if they sell and then the algorithm's like,
no, the algorithm's gonna stick. We're gonna keep the algorithm.
This is what I mean. I'm like, if they sell and they don't sell the algorithm, then the app is fucked and ruined anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
I posted the same TikTok making fun of Donald Trump and JD Vance's official portraits, their inauguration portraits, on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube Shorts. TikTok, funny as fuck. So funny. Everyone is a fucking comedian on TikTok, because I'm like, everyone's on the same page, the video's going to the same people. Yes, it's like an echo whatever chamber, but it's not going to like MAGA hats. You post it on Instagram and YouTube Shorts, straight to MAGA land, and they're like, that's your president you're talking about, or he looks like that because he's a leader and he's you hate like masculine
he looks like
people.
He's been microwaved.
Huh?
He looks like he's been microwaved.
Yeah.
He looks like he's been put in the microwave for 1.5 minutes. On high,
That's it. Yeah.
and then whatever came out was his.
He's like a
fucking
marshmallow. Have you ever put a marshmallow in a microwave?
thing. No, why the fuck would I do that?
Because, okay, do you know what happens with a marshmallow in a microwave?
No,
You put a
it's
marshmallow in a
just
microwave,
melt.
it like expands so much, and,
Oh.
then it like when you take it out, it like implodes. He looks like the imploded, like after you finish.
Yeah,
the
and I can
microwave
imagine
the
it's just like a
marshmallow.
really potent,
kind of burnt a little bit too.
shade of like yellow.
Yeah, exactly. That's what he looks like. Yeah,
It looks very jaundiced.
and JD Vance looks like Miley Cyrus at the 2008 Grammys.
Yeah.
VMAs,
I don't know.
Grammys,
But that one. 2008, spooky times.
Yeah, he also looks like someone said he looks like White Walker. He looks like a demented pug. Trump looks like a gender bent Dolores Umbridge, which I live for. There's so many good ones. But then you put it on YouTube Shorts and it's just like, that's my president. I'm like, not my fucking president.
Yeah, I mean, ew, how embarrassing that these people.
embarrassing.
Anyway, I don't care. You know what?
And then on the timeline, I thought we were going to have it gone for at least 2 days until the inauguration. So Saturday night, it went away. I thought we were going to have it at least until past noon on Monday without TikTok. Because I didn't think it'd come back over the weekend. Because I think he'd had to make like the executive order, blah, blah, blah.
But yeah.
And then we got it back. What
Well,
time?
it's just because it like 2 p.m. by
Sunday at 2 p.m. No, it was
Yeah.
less than that.
Really?
Yeah, I think it was less than that because because we lost it at 9 something on
No,
Saturday.
it was like 7 or something. 7. It was like 7 or 8 p.m.
We had it gone less than 24 hours.
It was like 12 hours.
Yeah.
It was gone.
And I kept I know exactly where TikTok is on my home screen. So I kept pressing it like out of habit. Well, it was like all of a sudden the pop-up went away and it
Yeah.
just said no internet connection. And then I was back on my feed, but there was no For You page. So I was like,
He has
okay,
risen.
What's happened? He has risen.
He has risen.
Holla fucking Lula. Lula? Holla fucking Luya.
What the fuck are you doing?
And then the For You page came back.
It came back.
And I was like,
Not in all its glory. And then the conspiracy theories started.
oh,
But I'd like to take a step backwards for a moment, if you will allow.
I would
If
allow.
you'll indulge.
I would indulge.
So this episode is about the TikTok ban, if you haven't already gathered. We're having a deep dive into just the inner workings of our brains during that time.
Because our careers were falling off of a cliff.
As they were for many other people, like a lot
Yeah.
of other creators on the app. Some of which took to TikTok to reveal some deep, dark secrets that they'd been harboring.
Harboring, yeah.
Career ending, I will say. People really expected the app to go down forever, and they revealed their darkest secrets.
Through a trend.
Through a trend on
Embarrassing.
TikTok where they were admitting to basically lying to their followers, giving the humble influencer the bad name. Fitness influencers lying about
Doing the workouts.
doing their workouts.
Not doing the workouts.
Lying about not having surgery. This one
crazy.
influencer who had a BBL, and she was like, "Here's a secret. I had a BBL. I don't actually have this from working out," which is wild.
That's crazy.
The one mukbang girl who was like, "I don't actually eat all the food that I claim to eat."
That's crazy.
Even though that's her whole platform. Did you hear about the Ice Cube girl?
No.
There's an Ice Cube girl. And
What?
like people are, I don't know why people are about the
What
Ice Cube.
Ice Cube
I
girl?
let the Ice Cube girl slide because I feel like this is like this isn't, in the grand scheme of things, Ice Cube gate is like not a big deal.
What Ice Cube
She,
gate?
like, this girl has 20 million followers, or like maybe she got 20 million views on this like one TikTok.
Okay.
Where she like restocks her Ice Cube trays
Oh.
with like fruit and like
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
And then makes this whole like, she has so many Ice Cube trays and she puts like berries and stuff and then
Yeah.
makes them. And she was like, "Here's my secret." It's very High School Musical status quo. Like, "I got a secret to tell." And they're like, "No." But yeah, that was the trend basically. And she was like, "I don't actually eat all of these ice cubes." And then everyone's like, "Say it ain't so. Ice Cube girl, you lied to us." And then she came back on when TikTok was
Yeah.
back. She was like, "I don't eat them all, but like I had some sometimes, and like my friends and my partner has some, and we like have them on like weekends, and sometimes put them in cocktails." That is not a big deal.
That's ice.
I just was spiraling because when something's taken away, you like really cherish it afterwards. In my blissful doom scroll yesterday, I was just going down this rabbit hole, and everyone was like, "The Ice Cube girl sucks," and I was like, "Wait a minute, have we just like really lost the plot? Because this isn't that bad."
She just made ice and didn't have some of them.
Yeah, I know. There's like other
That's
things.
fine.
There's other things to be angry at.
How's she going to have all that
This
ice?
is also all this is happening during the inauguration too, and I'm like, please redirect your anger elsewhere. This is not that bad.
It is crazy as someone who's career is content creation and who this is like our whole life. Like it's as if because we do a lot of food, we said we don't eat any of this food. We like chew it up and then spit it out. That's the dumbest like career move you can ever make. It's just like,
also, like,
do you have a brain?
Do you not also have other platforms like people follow you?
Right, which you repost your TikToks on, I'm sure.
You've just lost all credibility.
Yeah.
You're an idiot. Sorry.
Even if you like made one afterwards, it's like, it was a joke.
Yeah,
it was so funny. I'm like, you ruined your credibility.
Yeah.
You're an idiot. Idiots. Dumb. And the people who also deleted TikTok from their phone.
Dumb.
Dumb.
We can talk about dumb. We can talk about dumb in this country. We saw it on inauguration
Why would you
day.
delete TikTok off of your phone? Even if you thought that it was not going to come back, why wouldn't you just keep it for as long as you could?
I don't know.
It doesn't make
Well,
sense.
people saw, there are also some people I saw that were like, they deleted it off their phone because they saw other people were back on it. And so they were like, let me delete it and then reinstall the app to see if I can get the app back. But it's still,
let someone else be your guinea pig.
it's still not.
Don't do it. As an influencer, as also.
Yeah, it's still not in the App Store.
Yeah. And it probably won't be for a while.
Rub those brain cells together. What's left? What's left of them? Rub them together.
It's crazy to me. Bonkers.
to spark some kind of thought.
There's no fire happening in those brains.
So that was crazy. It really did feel like it was a week that was a year, and then all of a sudden it was gone. It was like that one clip from SpongeBob. If you can't do the time, don't do the crime. And they walk into jail, and then the guy goes, "Okay, time's up." They walk in and they walk straight back out of prison.
I think it's so funny that most, if not all of our references are from TikTok, because I saw that exact thing on TikTok and I know you took that reference from there.
Literally.
And if we didn't have TikTok, where would our references come from?
Nope, nowhere. I'm not fucking getting it from Instagram Reels.
Like, am I funny?
That was a really fucking traumatic time. I had to, as you heard, I was drinking a lot of wine on Saturday nights. I woke up on Sunday mildly hungover and I was like, there's nothing. I'm not going to read a book. I have it, but I'm not going to look at a page because... It's really hard to like imagine fake scenarios in your head whilst you hallucinate whilst you're reading a fucking book, reading words on a page, imagining all these things in your brain.
Totally.
It's difficult to do that whilst you're hungover.
Totally.
Okay, and I just started a new book and I'm just like really struggling to get into it. Fuck. No, this is my justification for having to fucking scroll on Instagram Reels.
How was it? What did you see?
Terrible. Some of the things are on Instagram Reels. I'm like, what the fuck? How does this not violate community guidelines?
Oh, yeah.
The amount of people I see having their content removed from the app of Instagram because they violate community guidelines because they talk about this or that. Censorship is real, you guys. Censorship is real. But all of a sudden, why can I see the shaft of your penis on Instagram Reels?
Swinging around.
It's crazy.
Swinging around the videos of the
Which
men
also
just, like,
says a lot
swinging their
about my
dicks around.
Explore page. It says a lot about like my Instagram algorithm than it does anything. But it's fucking insane. My Instagram algorithm is like men working out or just like men in general.
Just men in general. It's just men.
Men in general. Actually, what is it? What is it right now? Because I want to try and prove that it's somewhat wholesome. There are only men. There are only men. Gay people. Oh, there's some makeup stuff. There's some makeup.
Like
there is
one.
like a man holding like anal beads in his mouth. There's literally like, that is crazy. That is wild. And next to like someone getting her makeup done. Right next to that.
This makes
that
sense
is
for you.
Wild.
Oh my God.
Instagram's algorithm, I don't know how. It's like, yeah, you're gay. You interact with one or two gay people.
Red Note was a phenomenon. You never got into it. I got into it for a second. And now I'm off it.
I was like, well, the week started and everyone was downloading Red Note, and I was like, I just don't have the time to learn Mandarin right now. I'm sorry. I just don't have I don't have the brain capacity.
My career is on the line. Let's learn Mandarin.
Sorry, I can't do that. I did see some things though from TikTok. People were screen sharing.
The algorithm on Red Note, really good, because as soon as I like scrolled a little bit, men started appearing.
Yeah, they were like,
and it was just men.
Hi, gay.
Hi, gay.
Welcome to the butter shop.
Not her. Not her.
She was a guest judge on
Yes, I
RuPaul's
know.
Drag. Why
I
was she
know.
guest judge on RuPaul's Drag Race?
Because she was a phenomenon.
That's so random. She had one like viral video.
Yeah. It was a big one for the gays. It was just viral in gays. World.
Yeah, that's so funny though.
And then we got it
Note.
back.
And then we got it back.
And then we got it back. And now we have TikTok for 75 days because of my Lord and Savior. Chomp, you saved us. Anyone who thinks that Trump actually saved TikTok is brainless. Dumb as fuck.
I don't know if we need to take it back to 2020 when he originally created the concept of the TikTok ban.
Hello.
The inception of the TikTok ban came from that like tiny little walnut brain inside that giant orange head.
Because he didn't like the conversations that were happening around BLM during that time.
Yeah.
Because TikTok
Oh
was
my
becoming our town hall, and it was like the most liberal app out of all the apps. And it was the place that everyone could share ideas and have conversations and share everything that was happening with BLM. And he didn't like that.
If you think about the app itself, if you think about Instagram and you think about what other apps are there? What the
YouTube.
fuck? Yeah,
YouTube.
YouTube. Yeah, YouTube.
X.
YouTube in my mind is like a big search engine just for like videos. Like I will type like how to do something or how to do that. Like,
Yeah,
on
yeah.
YouTube. Fuck X. Fuck that little piece of shit. Fuck
Yeah.
that dumb, ugly little fucking rat man. Fuck him. Fuck his app. Fuck his entire lineage. Fuck ew. Actually,
What
not
is-
his lineage because his daughter's like slay, isn't she?
What was he described as yesterday? Oh, he looks like the after picture of someone with a skin graft.
And I'm not even going to get into the gesture that he did 2 times during the inauguration.
This is Elon Musk.
I
if
just
you
think
haven't
he's that is the most insane thing. If you are someone who voted for Trump and you're witnessing this and you are still okay with everything that happened yesterday, all of those executive orders that he did, everything that happened, Elon's dumb fucking gestures that resembled fascism.
No, that was. It was.
No, 100%. If you see that and you're like, no, that's fine. That's fine by me because eggs will be cheaper. First of all, no, they won't. You're dumb. And
They will not be cheaper.
no, I know.
How is he
There
going to
was
make
a girl
eggs cheaper?
on TikTok. Thank fucking God. She is going to be, how many days are there in Trump's presidency? Like 1,000.
Oh, 1,200, yeah.
Something like that. She's like, here is like my series of 1,400 days of Trump's presidency where I'm going to be ranking egg prices every single day
Slay.
to make sure, to see how they
Yeah.
change.
Yeah.
And they're not going to change. Because guess what? Just in case you're dumb, the president of the United States does not get to determine the price of things.
No.
It just happens due to
Yeah.
inflate. Oh, there's a bird flu happening right now. There's a bird flu. There's an egg shortage.
Yeah.
I had to go on the Great Egg Heist last week to go and find eggs on a Wednesday. Like last week, just run around to multiple different stores to try and find eggs. And I did. And they were expensive. And I was like, you know what? Beggars can't be choosers.
You need to buy a different brand that we never bought
did.
from.
Who the fuck is Ben and Jerry?
I don't know. I'm a Vital Farms
It
girl.
wasn't Jerry, but
It was Ben and Jerry. No, it was Ben and Gary.
Ben and Gary.
Ben and Gary.
Ben and Terry.
Gary eggs.
Ben and Terry's eggs or some
Yeah,
bullshit.
it was crazy.
I was like, who are they? Who are they? Who are these strangers in my house? Who are these strange white men in my house all of a sudden? But I don't know. I want to eat your eggs. I'm going to eat your eggs.
Because we're desperate. Trump does not have the power to make anything cheaper, and he will not. And his policies have been proven to actually make things more expensive. Because when you cut taxes on the rich, things get more expensive at the bottom.
Not even the bottom. Like you're
The bottom half.
You're making
the bottom 75%.
95%.
Yeah.
It's a 96%. It's a 4%. The top wealthiest people. The lineup of, dare I say, fucking losers behind him at the inauguration.
See.
And what was Lauren Sanchez?
Who?
Is that her name? Jeff Bezos' fiance.
Yeah. What was she wearing?
Wearing a blazer over a bralette.
I don't know.
Over a bralette.
I don't know.
For an inauguration? It's a bralette.
It was very telling that they didn't allow the spouses of most of the Congress people to come to
Yeah.
the inauguration, but
She-
Jeff
but she was-
Bezos was allowed to have her.
Yeah, but she was stood right behind Trump.
Yeah. Because Jeff Bezos is sucking his fucking dick.
Yeah. Oh my God. Ew,
my
the next 4
God.
years is going to be crazy, you guys.
It's the crazy. No, this is like a different stage of America's devolution into chaos because the oligarchs right behind Trump in front of his cabinet, like they were in front of his cabinet. Mm-hmm. The oligarchs were, and by oligarchs, all of Meta, Google, Musk, et cetera, are
Even
like
Tim
right up
Cook.
front.
No
Even
one's
Tim
safe.
Cook.
Nobody's safe.
And they all donated like millions of dollars to his inaugural fund. And I'm like, what is happening? What is happening? I'm scared.
He's like, this presidency has just opened the door for everyone to just come out as a big fat racist. And also ugly. The two go hand in hand. Sorry.
The more conservative you get, the uglier you get.
No shit.
It's proven.
Then the more like melted you look.
Yeah. But at least we have TikTok.
At least we have TikTok.
At least we have TikTok in the Gulf of America.
And that is the Gulf of Beijing. That is the Gulf of Beijing.
Ni hao, motherfucker.
That I don't give a fuck. I'm sorry. That is so fucking insane. We now have to just wait and see what's going to happen with TikTok as everyone else does. I'm gonna segue into the topic of conspiracies.
I love conspiracies. Put on the tinfoil hats.
Let's talk conspiracies. As soon as TikTok came back, everyone was like, it seems different.
Yeah.
Has anyone not been able to see the lives tab? No one can see the TikTok shop. Like, they were slowly rolling out the features and people were like, the app's different. Something's not right here.
But we, like, as creators, we get emails from TikTok. Like, I get emails from TikTok and they were like, it's going to slowly roll out. Like, you might not see lives. You might not, they literally said, you're not going to see lives and you're not going to see TikTok shop for a second.
Yeah.
And those were the things that were missing. But everyone's like, they don't want us to see what's happening in the world. So they're taking away lives.
Isn't even on the App Store yet. Like, they're slowly rolling things back and I don't think you can, like, I don't know why it isn't on the App Store yet. Maybe it won't be for the next 75 days. Like,
Who knows?
whilst they figure out the whatever deal they're going to do.
But the conspiracies were crazy.
It's
about
insane.
the
They were
app.
like, Meta bought it. Oh my God, everyone Meta bought it. And like now you can see because Shochu
didn't say CEO of TikTok in his bio.
But here's the thing. People were saying Shochu's TikTok bio no longer says CEO of TikTok, and Facebook and Instagram now have accounts on TikTok. That means this, that means that. Turns out if you use a brain, just one, you don't need to use your own.
You could use half.
You can use someone else's.
Yeah.
There was never the word CEO written in the CEO's bio to begin with. And if there is a humongous merger like this happening, legally, they have to disclose it to the public. Like, it has to be, they can't do things like that in secret.
So
if these huge companies are merging or if there's like legal things happening, by law, it has to be like open to the public.
Because they're publicly traded. Well, Facebook is a publicly traded company.
Yeah.
It has to be shared.
Yeah,
and also the US does not like regardless of what we think about the status of the US right now as an oligarchy, we do not like monopolies. Because United...
Can you explain the word oligarchy to me as if I'm a fucking idiot? 'Cause
Oligarchy?
I don't know what the word...
It just means like...
Sounds like a vegetable. Sounds like a root vegetable.
It means the government... I've never thought of it as a root vegetable. It basically means that the power is in the hands of the few. So like the strings are being pulled by the richest people in the world, and the
puppeteers.
the business titans, and those people are actually in charge. So you see the government, like we have the government, and that's technically a democratic republic. That's the type of government we have and have had. But whenever we have an oligarchy, that's just changed to the rich are the ones pulling the strings.
Yeah.
Yeah. Me, I'm like, yeah, totally.
Oh, but the US does not like monopolies because United was trying to merge with Spirit Airlines and then that got shut down by the government because we do not like monopolies. It takes away competition. So if Meta was going to buy TikTok, A, that would have to be public. B, that would go into the courts and we would have this big, massive fight over it. It can't just happen. It can't
happen within the space of 12 hours. Like,
No.
I just don't understand.
And because Facebook made a TikTok profile and on Facebook there were pop-ups saying to connect your TikTok, everyone with all your brain cells said, oh, that means Meta bought TikTok.
You can
Hello?
already you could have already connected your Instagram to TikTok. Like, it's just not a thing. It's not a thing that those two platforms like haven't been like in sync before.
I think everyone was in panic mode. Like in defense of all the conspiracy theorists, like we were in panic mode. We were traumatized. We were trying to make everything make sense in our heads rather than like it just came back and everything's normal. That's boring.
Because also it was like so anticlimactic. I'm like, you can take it away for a bit longer. Fuck. I was actually like starting to be a little bit productive. I was like, actually, let me read a book. Let me clean the house a little bit. Let me get my life together somewhat. And then all of a sudden was like, never mind. Here you go.
And then we have this like influx of like sappy posts all on TikTok. Like
We did this
on
episode
each-
too.
I know.
Hey, you guys, this platform is my life.
And I would do it again because TikTok is that important to me.
Yeah, totally.
And I will not say I'm embarrassed that I was sad. No, I was sad because TikTok has changed our lives.
No regrets, you guys.
No regrets. No regrets.
What? What did you just say?
Now what?
Yeah, do you know what? Here we are. I guess when more like shit becomes publicly known, I guess we're gonna all discover it together and figure out where we go from here because
We have 75 days, and they're going to try to make a business deal. Trump is going to come in and make a business deal and make America great again, and we're all going to be so happy. The amount of like ass kissing that's just happening with this fucking president is crazy to me, and the amount of people who are like so thankful that he saved TikTok. I'm like, I don't get it. I don't get it because I know history and I remember what his past presidency was like, and I remember what happened.
it just seems to have a lot more like. It's going to be really scary 4 years,
For sure, for sure.
but
It was also a scary other 4 years.
Yeah, that's right.
We started off the last presidency with Muslim ban, and we forget about how crazy that was. Like we were protesting at the airports.
Oh my God.
People were protesting at the airports. They were shutting down things. We were like making sure this didn't happen. So we do have the power. I think a lot of people are less interested in fighting back because we have
tired.
we've been through a lot.
People are tired.
We've been through trauma. We've been through so much, and now we have to do it again.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are going to be more focused on like local things and like community building at the local level, like working with your cities and working with your communities and your towns and your like neighborhoods, rather than these big national things. And I think also it's good to be happy in the face of adversity.
Experience joy in the face of adversity. Adversity. Fucking hell.
It's to spite everyone who wants you to be sad and angry and confused.
Yeah.
Be happy.
Yeah.
Be happy for the next 4 years. It's stressful for sure, but put on a happy face, put on a smile, and pretend that you're having the time of your life. Because they want you to be sad. They want you to be like, oh my God, he's gonna invade Greenland. How dare he? He can't do that. Let him say what he wants. Because I think in his first term, we were like, don't take him at his word. Don't take him literally. Take him literally this time. If he's gonna invade Greenland, let him try.
I would like to see him like really fail.
That's what I mean. Because he's gonna fail.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let him try to make eggs cheaper. He's gonna fail.
But let me keep my TikTok.
Yeah. Let him make a deal for TikTok. Let everything happen that's going to happen. I'm worried about me, my family, and my immediate community.
My family.
And the people who are the most at risk by his administration.
Yeah, which is literally most of the country.
Literally everyone.
Yeah.
And then hopefully in 4 years, we can all collectively vote for Gavin Newsom for president.
Oh my God. And think back on this time as the small but deadly scourge that it was.
The TikTok ban was like a silent but deadly fart.
Oh my God.
It was so quiet and so short, but it felt so potent.
Yeah, it was potent.
You know?
No, I don't know. I would never produce such a foul odor. Look at me, I'm a princess.
Never farted in your life.
Never. It's just sparkles and rainbows from in there.
Oh my God. Disgusting.
And to round off this episode with a dinner table game, we're going to play Peaks and Pits, otherwise known as Rose and Thorn. What?
Buds.
Oh, bud! Wait.
You can play roses.
What's the equivalent of a peak and pit with a bud? Peak, pit, and like sea level.
No,
because I didn't know rose and thorn. I didn't know what a rose and thorn was until like here.
Rose, thorn, and bud.
Rose, thorn, and a bud. Okay, let's play a rose. It's time to play a rose, thorn, and a bud.
Time to play
rose, thorn, and a bud.
Let's do our roses and then our thorns and then our buds from last week.
No, I'm gonna start with the negative. Fuck.
Okay. I start with the positive always.
No, I don't give a fuck. You can start with your positive. What's your positive?
From last week?
Do you have a positive from last week?
Yeah, exactly.
Wait,
no, there are positives.
Exactly.
There are positives. Oh, they're positive. I have positive. When TikTok was being banned and we were like in our final stretches, my whole For You page was filled with sounds and audios and trends from 2020. And it felt so nice and like warm. And like people were sharing like the whipped iced coffee trend. And I was like, this is nice. This is a nice flashback because we've been on the app for 5 years and I'm like, so much has happened since then. It's good to look back and be like, oh, this is where we started. We were so crazy back then, but like so cute.
And 5 years ago, you don't remember, but fuck, we were so cringy back then.
Oh, we were so cringy. I scrolled back all the way to the bottom and I was like,
OMG.
That's cringy.
I'm going to say that my thorn was just the Supreme Court. Oh, we were like, oh my God, what are they going to say? We're in the hand. Our livelihoods are in the palms of the people who don't know anything about what's going on. They have no clue about this app. And all of my livelihood is like in their hands. Mm-hmm. And then it ended up being for nothing. Like we were stressing about their decision and their decision had no consequence to anything. And it didn't matter.
It has so much consequence.
Really?
We forget that this ruling against TikTok is not just about TikTok. It has given the government power to ban any app they wish, basically, based on evidence that they might or might not have. Any app that's owned by a foreign adversary, whatever that means, with data security reasons, blah, blah, blah. The government now has the precedent to ban those.
Sniffies, get rid of it. Get rid of that.
That's fine. Yeah, we could get rid of sniffies.
What on earth is happening over there? Jesus Christ.
But it's not just like the ruling was not for TikTok. It was not for free speech at all.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And it's a 9-0.
The whole thing was a mindfuck. A thorn in my ass.
That's a big thorn. My thorn, then, everything was a thorn. Every single thing was a thorn. Everything else but what I said was a thorn. Like, literally the whole week was a thorn. Can Trump being inaugurated be a thorn?
Totally.
Yeah, Trump being inaugurated. Fuck that. But actually, it was funny that he was too cold that he had to do it in the rotunda.
That's funny.
I think that's funny. He's like,
Oh, I'm so cold, so I can't go outside and do it like outside.
And I think that's so funny that this entire presidency and like his entire posse behind him is all supposed to be like masculinity and man and like manpower, but it's
Yeah.
too cold just stand outside.
don't go.
And I'm just like, actually, that's a rose for me. The fact that all of the MAGAs had to go and stand outside, waiting to see their Lord and Savior.
yeah.
He was inside.
Yeah.
All these people traveled from across the country for nothing. Womp womp.
And they had to go to the Capital One Arena to watch him sign some executive orders.
Losers.
Embarrassing.
Also, it was our dog's 6th birthday.
Ow.
That was a
that was
a
cute.
rose. I was gonna say thorn. That was a rose.
That was the rose. She's almost a senior.
And now to the bud. Something that will bloom but has not yet developed. A fetus, if you will. I don't have a bud. I took the plan B. I took plan B.
You don't have a bud?
No. I took the anti-baby pill and that bud is dead. No bud for me.
I have a bud for sure. I can be hopeful about something. I have hope that that they'll make a deal for TikTok that works for everyone and that keeps the platform as it is. Because I don't like the pessimism that it's going to completely change and be a different app, blah, 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 blah. The rich and powerful are going to screw us over. No, I have faith in TikTok as the last left-leaning platform that we have, that we can keep this town hall that is so good for conversation and discussion and information. I have hope for it.
Information. That's what everyone's scared of. I think the whole thing started from the idea that we were able to share information freely and openly with each other on such a mass level. I'm learning so much that I never ever would have known, and it's all because of TikTok.
Yeah.
It is such a powerful platform, and if it changes, it will ruin it. And so the hope is that it won't change too much.
Yes.
And with that, we leave you some hope.
Well, I do.
No, I joined on at the end there. And as Lana Del Rey once said, hope is a dangerous thing for a woman like me to have, but I fucking got it, me. Thank you so much for tuning in on today's episode of Let's Dig the Fuck In. Please be sure to follow us on Instagram and TikTok. And rate us on wherever you listen to a podcast. 5 stars only. Thank you so much.
Yeah. 5 stars only. And we'll see you next time. See you on TikTok.